Hello everyone, welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Beef Recap. I wonder what we're showing on YouTube. Is this YouTubing? Welcome back to our YouTubing, yay. And somebody yesterday said, hey, I just keep coming back for the hello everyone, welcome back to. So I thought that was cute. As you can see from our dashboard, we're a little bit data deficient right at the moment. So unfortunately, I can't really make any commentary about that. But, just FYI, we're still in our, technically our developer mode and beta. And our launch date officially was supposed to be January 1st. So technically, we're still a couple months ahead. So we can't beat up Fjord today, but nonetheless, the dashboard is ill for the time being. So we can't really use that. But we can always pop on over, just take a quick boo at some of the other breadth indicators that we like to follow in the stock market. Things like new highs, new lows, still sort of kind of wishy-washy. And we're seeing that a lot out of the junior market. Junior market's not really too happy today. Breadth, kind of weak, but, bit of an uptick here, but nothing really to write home about. Put-call ratio, interesting how we had a little bit of maybe euphoria, that's been tempered a bit, and a little bit of fears coming back into the market. Good old VIX index bumping up against recent highs here. I still like the idea, believe it or not, the VIX has to work its way down below here. Maybe if this is the pivot, then so be it. Also, too, I don't know whether we really see a stock market break ahead of the election here. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I do like the idea that if Mr. Biden does win, Wall Street and the 1% are going to be highly incentivized to sell stock and book those capital gains before their tax rates go up. So looking for some sort of pivot top into this election event. Jupiter, Saturn, cross December 21st. That's still, better part of the way through December. It's going to be a bumpy couple months here, no doubt about it. Good part about it, I suppose, for those that can play the long side of the market. Ahead of this event, I can't see the Fed coming in and stopping the market here. It's just really a question of, does this sickness stop the market and things just get absolutely out of control? I did see, out of the UK, and I think the Europe sort of situation is about a couple weeks ahead of us here in North America. So I wouldn't be surprised right around this election we're doing exactly what's happening in Europe right now. But did see some serious social unrest. Boris is having a bit of troubles over there in the UK, and I wouldn't be surprised if riots and all that kind of stuff are happening in the United States of America in the next few weeks. So it's going to be bumpy. Ahead of that election event, like I said, I don't think anybody's going to step in front of this. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not, but I don't think so. After the election, ooh boy, all bets are off. If I understand correctly, there's another one of these debates coming up in the States. I think it's today or tomorrow. So my hunch is probably keep an eye on that. See how that goes to get your sort of short-term sentiment reading on the market. If I understand correctly, the politicians down in the States are trying desperately to hammer out some sort of stimulus package for the U.S. I don't know. I got the impression that the deadline was yesterday that they were supposed to have it all done, but I hear that they're still wrangling around today. Maybe they can get their act together. I don't know. U.S. dollar index got hit pretty darn hard overnight. We kind of conjectured in yesterday's public video, were we going to come down and hit this A, B, C, D, and bang, we hit that hard. Interesting thing here, it wasn't really buying in the commodity or the European-related currencies. It was massive buying in the yen, which technically is a risk-off event. So, the irony of it all is, this should theoretically be risk-on. But if the money's coming out of North America and just flowing straight into the Japanese yen because they're freaked out about what's going to happen here over the next couple of weeks in the U.S., that does make sense to me. So interesting to see. Stocks just not doing a hell of a lot here. And still looking a little heavy. Crude oil really got thumped hard here today. We had conjectured about how sort of a new short attempt against all this recent range might look. I don't think there's anything to do today, but counter trend rallies back up against these highs. Yeah, we might actually entertain that idea again. So keep an eye out there for that. And we had kind of said that, hopefully you guys are seeing that watch this free video feed on a regular basis. Hopefully you're seeing that, oh, gee whiz, something like crude oil's down on the day. So that means gold and the metals can rally on the day. And interestingly enough, you can see gold's having a pretty good up day. And, through our TRI SOF meeting last night, Tuesdays we have it, we were taking a really good look at some of the gold stocks and the gold itself. I don't know whether the sector is ready to break out here yet or not. But very constructive. One low, higher low, second higher low, third higher low, fourth higher low. And of course we have our sort of magic line there at about 1936.80 would probably be the level. Oh, beg your pardon, 1939.40. And this is just on a spot futures contract, obviously. Look at your respective markets. And then, of course, the bot level for us to all get apeshit on gold again. Looks like it's up here at about 1958, 1960, somewhere in there. So, constructive. Same thing I said yesterday. It's constructive. If anything, I wouldn't mind one more push down, even set up maybe like a harmonic top here. Give us a nice pivot down here around 78.6 or something, and then turn up NW, and oh my god, I'd love that. So early, but constructive. And interestingly enough, like I said, I mean, maybe this silly oil empire's out and holy all hell breaks loose. Still say it's early. I would like to see a counter trend rally back up against these highs to make that M that I like so much. If I was really seriously thinking about shorting. Interesting to see how the stock market's kind of dead. In the bigger caps, they're just sort of dojiing there. And I think they're all sort of waiting with bated breath whether the politicians in Washington actually do something. If they don't, I wouldn't be surprised in the short term if you actually see some dumpage there. The junior market, pretty soft. I mean, if you have a junior stock in crypto, well, that's another conversation altogether. But most, or, in the pot sector, little magic mushroom stocks just look fantastic in here. There's one down in the States that's breaking out as we speak. But on balance, I'm getting the message that, wow, that was a huge surge in the junior market. And it was a lot of fun watching the market rally there. But we are seeing actually a lot of, these stocks are popping on news and gapping higher. And we are seeing selling, heavy selling into those pops. And then the stocks sort of back off. So, and that's typical of this time of year. Don't be shocked if the small caps have to go through a serious malaise into a tax loss selling year end. It's only early October now. I guess it's middle of October. So that's still a couple months away. And we all know in crypto, I mean, anybody who's traded crypto over the years says, October, November, December are usually brutal on the junior venture cap crypto names. So stock market, same thing. And if anything, I'm starting to build my shopping list of names that meet the VCIM, venture cap investment model criteria in the stock market. And I'm building my shopping list. I've got 3 names in particular that I'm going to look to acquire over the next few months. Obviously, the market du jour, I mean, there's nothing going on in any of these. In fact, the irony of it all is there's not really a hell of a lot going on in gold. It is cool to see that silver's actually outperforming gold, like on a 2-to-1 basis. And we had a cool conversation in the Daily Brief today about sort of, the economic message that that's sending. In that I believe that the economy is actually doing okay. And as long as this keeps trending in this favor and this channel keeps working away, silver is in demand and people are using it in industry, then that's a good vote. So if anything, you want to see silver keep outperforming here. That could reverse very easily. And maybe stimulus talk is dead and politicians all bury their heads in the sands. Maybe that reverses violently. But I do like the Emmys that we're starting to see coming in on this. That's encouraging. That's a good sign for the economy. And I think I've said this to you. I don't. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. But this market right now feels almost exactly the same as 1980, which is exactly what's supposed to happen. That's the freaky part about all of this. The only difference is the interest rate cycle is the exact opposite end. So 1980 was all about interest rates peaking and hyperinflation and runaway inflation, versus this part of the cycle is all about deflation, interest rates going to zero and they'll never go up again, which of course, just like in that period, you should not have gotten sucked into that runaway hyperinflation thesis. And in this thesis, I don't think you should, this market, I don't think you should get wrapped up in the interest rates will stay at zero forever kind of thinking. That's got trouble written all over it. So, through the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto event, remember Mr. Morgan, millionaires disregard astrology, billionaires don't. I think I even said back in the spring, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this. Prices are going to be zooming all over the place. You don't give a fuck about what clowns like me have to say about risk management. Just go fucking buy your Bitcoin and just forget about it. I'm surprised at how gold itself has just not done much here. But the old corn, man, is just fucking rocking it. And that's got to put a huge smile on all the crypto kids enthusiasts' faces. I mean, it's beautiful to watch their dream coming true. I believe that the market believes that we are heading towards a crypto future. I don't think that that's in question now, especially listening to those Fed speakers the other day and the IMF and all that. It's almost like I get the impression that they're desperate, that they're out of ideas. They're clinging to previous century models, and they're just grasping at anything. And you might argue that basically that's exactly the same thing that happened at the turn of the 20th century. So, in a weird sort of way, they say, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. So we got a huge vote of sort of confidence, if you will, in the marketplace today. In that, and it's fascinating because I think I told you I like to follow. While Sjord's screener is down, we can't really use that. I just built a very quick manual little spreadsheet to keep track of the market here. Where the hell is it? Maybe I got rid of it. That would suck. Oh, here it is over here. And you notice, and like I said, I like to follow the biggest sort of 200 companies in the world. And this list does a pretty good job at following them. The S&P 100 stocks plus the Dow Industrials, Transports, and Utilities. And you can see there is a big winner in the day in the form of this company called PayPal. So, one might argue, very much like the broader market, coming into trade location, putting in potential M's, and you can see how the market went up, down, up, like did not break through those lows. And then we've gone here today and just blasted higher. Why? Well, because they're like a Bitcoin. Woohoo! I mean, I suppose they're earning half decent money into. But for the crypto enthusiasts, obviously, today's news was huge sort of vote of vindication, validation. PayPal to allow cryptocurrency buying, selling, and shopping on its networks. And I get the impression that PayPal has turned into sort of like a go-to payment system online and on the net. And if anything, I wouldn't even be surprised if PayPal itself was sort of waiting for IMF, central bankers to basically say, yep, this is the future. We are heading towards that to actually do this. Also, too, from what I understand, a competitor of theirs, Square, is embrace the cryptocurrencies space. So now what we're actually getting into is cryptocurrencies are becoming a competitive football. Oh, that's beautiful. That's going from, well, do these cryptocurrencies things actually work? Are they all just shitcoin scams that kids are just pumping cabbage coin just to get rich from, or are they actually the future? And now it's no longer, well, they're suspect technology. It's, well, we better get fucking on this train or else we're going to be left behind. And that's beautiful. That's exactly what you want to hear. So big vote of endorsement, if you will, from the not only the corporate world, but also I would argue Wall Street as well, seeing how the Wall Street likes that PayPal news. Did we moon, straight up, straight up, straight up. I am reticent to be telling people to be buying Bitcoins as we're moving our way up here because, they always say, what goes up at some point must come down. And if I get caught, basically publicly touting that, yeah, it's okay to buy your Bitcoins in here and that's the smart thing to do, I can guarantee you somebody's going to sue me. So the absolute best thing to do if you ever do one of these kind of broadcasts, especially with an asset like Bitcoin, which I consider a commodity, is to have that conversation about cost of production and value. So, if somebody was going to come to me and say, well, Brian, where would you buy and invest because you feel as though you're buying value? It's interestingly enough, it has changed slightly. You can see, and I don't know whether it's a function of difficulty or something in the algorithm changed. I don't know. I'm not that smart at this stuff. But one of our longtime site members, Shane, built this tool on TradingView that helps us sort of see what the average cost of production, given, I think we said, here are the metrics here for electricity cost and hash rate and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, S17s are up here, S19s are down here as it stands. I think that's sort of the battle of sort of industry leading standard. I'm sure there's probably S15s, 13s, 9s, 11 or 1s and whatevers that are much, much higher prices. But I think that this is sort of cutting edge industry standard. So, here's the problem, right? Can you actually go into the public and just say, yeah, you're perfectly fine to invest in Bitcoins. You'll do perfectly well. I can't do that. I can say, and I thought it was super cool, go back and watch the Broiler Chicken show on the weekend, that I think the market's set up for all those people that hunt lower time frame trade setups. We did a great, and I even tweeted it out this morning because I was so impressed with it. Really talked long and hard about this one candle right here was what I would consider the tell. And then also too, we had sort of talked you through, and I know this gets awfully trafficky. I don't even know if you can see this or not. Probably not. Let's see what I've done here. So we, and actually Kevin was showing this. This isn't really the best Bollinger Band squeeze as far as I'm concerned. I suppose there's a pretty good signal there. When the bands go sideways, that's sort of your, hey, better pay attention. I don't really want to lose all that wonderful drawing I did here. So let's just put that back the way it was. Yeah, this is probably a good chart. So there was that FU move on both sides of the market. Beautiful Bollinger Band squeeze, like I said. The breakout, and then we sort of talked you through, okay, so what do you do here? Maybe wait for a buy signal on the breakout. Anyway, and I distinctly remember saying in the BCS, there's big honking W's there. You could have bought that and just risked against these lows. And usually, and this is the most important thing, is when you see these washouts on both sides of the market like this, it's actually a tell that, hey, they're getting ready to do something. And I think that's the end result of them getting ready to do something. Kaboom. Um, was a little worried yesterday, but also to a certain degree also relieved that this wasn't just a massive face rip orgy by everybody straight up. Ethereum and Litecoin kind of got left behind yesterday. But I see today they are playing catch up, so they're not being totally left behind. I don't think we're in the same market state for these. I think Bitcoin's definitely got the focal point, obviously with the PayPal news, obviously with sort of the idea of this. This is the digital form of gold that seems to be very popular in the market's eyes. And then this idea that, U.S. dollar's in serious question, and maybe we better go run into something secure that's got at least some sort of algorithm behind it to justify its value. I get the impression there's a lot of that in the market. Remember, we saw the stock market's not doing anything here today. What the fuck is going on? You can see Ethereum was really battling with sort of bearish patterns here and just not really looking too happy. But, today's action's gone and W'd out here. So I could see on Ethereum a little A, B, C, D take us up into these levels again. So that's encouraging. But definitely apples and oranges. It's going to take some time, but maybe Ethereum can get, maybe it has to go through this kind of consolidation, but maybe it can get its act together and really take a nice serious stab up top. The one actually that I was quite impressed with this morning, because I even directly mentioned that we can't really get bullish on Charlie and the altcoins until he goes and breaks this damn downtrend line. And look at that. 1, 2, 3. Is that 4? And then bang! Thank you, Charlie. You actually came in and defended your coin. Yay! I don't even know if he's still involved or not. Who knows? Hopefully you look at this and you go, gee whiz, that looks kind of like this. Looked like a Head and Shoulders top and you had to look for lower. This kind of looks like a Head and Shoulders bottom now. So, encouraging. I mean, things were looking pretty nasty there a little while ago in altcoins and Charlie in particular. So, I don't know, something along those lines, just eyeballing it. Which would probably take us right back up top here. Maybe follow along this channel here. That wouldn't surprise me. So, interestingly enough, remember we talked about Bitcoin. If we can clear through these highs and close up here, we look left, and next left is whoop, all the way up here. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, the Bitcoin rally has changed the conversation in crypto right now, which is good, right? Because it was being entirely dominated by this whole DeFi kind of nonsense unwinding itself. So now that that's sort of played itself out, and where are those charts, right? So kind of thinking, how does this DeFi thing play itself out? We made a new low here this morning. Now we're trying to form some railroad tracks. I don't know whether we've actually hit any sort of bottoms, quote unquote, yet here. But at least I'm hearing that the conversation is changing. And I think that's encouraging. Like this YFI, gee whiz, that actually looks like it's trying to W. Imagine that. So keep your eyes peeled, all you YFI fans. I see some sort of bottom trying to come in there. I had spent time with the Daily Brief people today. I personally really like this RLC. This has been a name I've been touting since I did those free videos, that interview with Da Vinci a couple years ago. It's sort of like, this is a name that has always resonated well with me. And I think it got pumped up on that crazy DeFi nonsense. But you can see reload zones, so we're back in an acceptable area. We got divergences coming in on these pushes to new lows. We have a really interesting counter trend rally that's basically a moving average sandwich battle here. And today we're getting some very interesting railroad tracks trying to come in. So my message to the community was, you can't go and buy Bitcoin here right now. I mean, what the fuck? You're going to step in front of that train here and buy here, knowing you have to risk all the way down to here? Are you really a trader? Or are you just, if you're a hodler, fuck, just go and buy. Dollar cost averaging, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think you're overpaying, but so what? But if I wanted to come in and like hunt a trade, right? I kind of like the fact that they've washed this DeFi space out now. I mean, a lot of the sort of speculative, euphoric enthusiasm is gone, and now we're starting to get some really interesting levels. So this one, for example, like I said, I mean, the sharpshooters, they could have come in and just bought these candle body lows. 78.6, never did tag 88.6, so Kevin would have been left behind. Sucker! But then he's got his bid and it'll be filled tomorrow. Just kidding. Anyway, got nice reload zone pulled back, and then we have a very noticeable fight. You can clearly see there is a war going on right here in the market in the short term. So, for all those that fancy themselves traders, you know, there's some interesting trading battles going on that if the bulls, if this finishes like this tomorrow, beep, done, and then we tick up through the high, well, you got yourself pretty good looking little risk window there to work with, looking for a stab. You know, the simplest thing, if this is a bottom, is look for a 50% roll. So you can probably see that the trade and all the metrics are probably already setting themselves up now. Hypothetically, let's say the market does finish here and then we tick up through the high tomorrow. Then you got your stop against that low there. 50% level is your target. You can even see there's some nice juicy gaps up top. But just being conservative, 3-to-1 risk reward. That's not bad. That's like a trader's life. So there are those kind of names floating out there. Now it's interesting to see, you know, if we think higher time frame investors, remember Charlie, we had sort of conjectured a while ago, remember this kind of fun story? Oh, Charlie, what art thou up to? Really, this is a weekly price chart. Nothing's changed here. And it's just sitting, even right now. It's sitting right on the investor window. And you can see there's this little trader here. There's this medium-sized trader here. And there's this big going for the moon 20x trader here. They're all perfectly valid trader types. And the market's just sitting there right on the level. It's up to you, you know. Caveat emptor, as they say. So, and if I haven't repeatedly said it, I'll repeatedly say it a bit more. I really think if you do fancy yourself a trader and you are interested in cryptocurrencies, you just got to put yourself on some sort of accumulation plan now. You just have to. You know, whether you're sharpshooting, leverage trading, okay, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously, you're going to have to really watch risk management. Be forewarned. You saw that fuck you move in Bitcoin. It happens all the time in crypto. Me personally, I kind of like that little old lady Nanny Nibbles approach. I just build a whole matrix of assets I want to own in this space, and I just force myself to step in and just keep nibbling away and just owning everything. Obviously, everything on this screen just looks like shit relative to Bitcoin right now, but I don't care. You know, at some point down the road, these things, they're all at the bottom ends of ranges. Right? So at some point, they start bottoming and turning back up. And oh, by the way, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, well, I'm still technically sitting in a crypto proxy. So anyway, that's sort of my approach, what I'm thinking in the market right now. I mean, enjoy the rally. It's totally awesome. And, bigger picture, I don't know whether I've shown you this kind of picture before. Actually, this is the setup that I think I was walking everybody through on the site, what I sort of see happening. I think they're like Alt A, B, C, D levels coming in here. And this is sort of like our playground. This is the trading range that I've sort of suggested to people I think we're in right now. But more importantly, this is more sort of short term. More importantly, my general feeling, for whatever it's worth, not really worth that much, but still think we're working this massive Gartley pattern. And it's interesting how levels here now, we're starting to see more confluence of levels coming in at this 16,000. So I still think we're heading towards this. And my simple message to the community here today is, you may want to think about selling and taking some profits. Totally awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Remember, Kavarkanator was down here buying down here, son of a bitch. Is it a little bit early to step in on the short side? I think so, especially, big green dildos. We're going to have to see divergence develop up top here to start telling us that, the bull is running out of steam. We start have to looking for lower lows. So the fact that we just made a new high here today, to me, says that this is going to take at least probably into the election. This thing probably tops right on election night, So there's your summary. Hope you found some value in that. Obviously, Bitcoin pointing up. Great fundamental driver here today. More industry acceptance. More sort of it is the future kind of talk. Altcoins, they're starting to clean themselves up. So, like this shitcoin perp, still a million miles away from trade location. But there are some names like that RLC that are starting to look a little bit better here. So that's sort of the way that I would summarize the market today. All right, everybody, have yourselves a great day. Sure hope you enjoyed that. All the best, and bye.